Penguin Random House Audio presents We'll Prescribe You Another Cat by Syou Ishida. English translation by E. Madison Shimoda. Narrated by Naruto Komatsu and Natsumi Kuroda.
One. Kotetsu, Noel, and Bibi. Moe Otani suddenly became aware that the ground beneath her was dank and soggy. She scanned her surroundings. Unknowingly, she had wandered into a dimly lit alleyway. Just a moment ago, she had been walking down the lively Kawaramachi Street, one of Kyoto's premier shopping districts. The street was always bustling with tourists and young people, and the crowds only grew larger from evening into the night. Usually, on her way back from lectures, Moe and her friends would join the throng, hitting up cafes and shops. But today, she was alone. Yes, she had headed west on Takoyakushi Street to avoid the crowd, but somehow ended up in an unfamiliar location. Standing in a cul-de-sac, she didn't recognize the narrow, old-fashioned block that towered before her. The door was open, revealing a hallway extending into its depths. Where on earth? She had been so out of it. It was precisely why she'd been called unreliable and accident-prone. Still, this was the first time she'd actually got lost because she had been distracted. She let out a deep sigh. The best way to avoid seeing her boyfriend would be to wander around a bit. She could go to a friend's place, whine and fuss, and act like she hadn't noticed anything. She'd ignore her phone. Yes, she could continue to be oblivious. Would that delay the breakup? Or would he end things anyway with a text? It would probably hurt less that way. She stood still, eyes fixed on the gloomy building. If only her situation would change while she stood right here in this shadowy alley. If only some higher power could wave a magic wand to prevent the impending breakup. Anything would do. She wanted to run away from it all, to look the other way. But her pointless time-wasting only amplified the pain. For the first time in a while, she was about to see her boyfriend, but the thought brought no joy. If anything, she almost wished it wouldn't happen. She sniffed and turned her back to the building. Just then, a small voice called out, "Hey, you there?" She spun around, but there was no one in sight. "Hey!" The voice called again. It was coming from somewhere above her head. There was an open window on the 4th or 5th floor, quite high up. To her surprise, she spotted someone peering out. "Over here!" It was hard to see clearly against the backlight, but it sounded like a man. His voice was nasal and high-pitched. He seemed to be wearing something white. She held her breath and she watched him hang his entire upper body out of the window. "Be careful, that looks dangerous." No, I'm not a dangerous person. I'm a good person." She couldn't make out his expression, but he seemed to be laughing. The man's cadent Kyoto accent drifted down. "Since you've made it all this way, please come up. I'm on the top floor, the 2nd unit from the back. Don't hesitate." "Not at all, I'm not hesitating." "Shall I come down to you? It's a bit of a stretch, but it's not impossible for me to jump from this height. No, wait, it's too far. Oh, no, actually, I think I can manage it. Let's give it a try. Nothing ventured." The man pitched forward. "Wait!" Moe screamed. She darted into the narrow building, dashed up the stairs to the top floor, then over to the 2nd unit from the back, where she rapped on the door. Like the building, the door, metal and heavy-looking, showed its age, its paint peeling off in patches. Despite her persistent knocks, there was no response. But the man's absent-minded way of speaking, his gentle Kyoto dialect that made her feel he was letting his guard down with her, had definitely beckoned her in. She placed her hand around the doorknob and tried to turn it. Nope, it was stuck. She applied more pressure, and then suddenly it began to yield. Using both hands, she found a solid grip on the doorknob and pulled. As the door began to give, she peered through the crack. Unlike the musty vibes of the rest of the building, the unit within was well lit. In front of her was what looked like a reception window. This place must be a clinic, she thought as she craned her neck further inside. She spotted a comfortable chair, but no one was around. "Excuse me," she called out. No reply. That man, what happened to him? Her heart raced. He didn't actually jump, did he? She strained her ears. It's so quiet. Reluctantly, she stepped back to close the door when a female voice pierced the silence. "What's going on, Dr. Nike?" The voice ringing out from the depths of the unit was unmistakably angry. Peering through the half-open door, Moe spotted the back of a woman in a nurse's uniform. Her hands rested on her hips. "Going out of your way to call down to the street like that. Do you have nothing better to do? Are you feeling bored?" "You don't have to get so mad." It was the man from earlier. "I mean, she came all the way to the entrance and was about to turn back. It's okay if I listen to her for just a bit, don't you think?" "No, it's not okay. Your important patient with an appointment hasn't come by yet, but you keep letting people cut the line left and right." "Yes, but he seems to be taking a long time to get here, and I don't have anything to do." "So you are bored." Still peeking around the door, Moe spotted the man. Aged about 30, clad in a white lab coat, he sounded like a mild-mannered, kind doctor. He looked up, and their eyes met. "Oh, come on in." The doctor smiled, looking relieved by the interruption. The nurse turned around to look. What a beautiful face, thought Moe. Her eyes were cool, her skin a porcelain hue. She seemed slightly older than Moe, around 25. Her look with deeply furrowed brows was decidedly unwelcoming. Please come in, take a seat, said the doctor. Before Moe could push open the door to the examination room, the nurse strode out, nose in the air. Stepping inside, Moe cast a look around the sparsely furnished space. Just a desk, 2 chairs, and a computer. Not a single piece of medical equipment in sight. Don't mind her. Chitose can be a bit harsh sometimes, but she has a gentle side too. This is Nakagyo Kokoro Clinic for the soul. As you can see, it's just the nurse and me running it, so we really aren't taking any new patients. But we'll make an exception for you since you've come this far. Clinic for the soul? Moe was taken aback. I don't have any problems that are serious enough to consult a psychiatrist. Ignoring Moe's wide-eyed look, he chuckled. But you went out of your way to come here, didn't you? I didn't come here on my own. You called me in, and I got curious. Some people won't even come in, even when you call out to them. But you came here on your own. You climbed the stairs with your own 2 feet. You turned the doorknob with your own hands. If you truly didn't want to, you would not have bothered. Now, let's see. The doctor spun towards his desk and began typing into his keyboard. Before Moe could prepare herself, the session had begun. She had never thought.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?